seen some things go down for some premature things.
Clock that tea. You am funny. My name is Alyssa Montejano. This is
Aaron Gillis.
Hi, Aaron.
Hi, Alyssa.
So today we're starting the Glow podcast.
Ooh, come on, name.
Yes, name. We're starting the Glow podcast because I think that there has been a lot of things in my life as an artist and as a human being that I need to kind of figure out a way to get it out and talk about it. And I've always wanted to do a podcast, so why not start now with one of my favorite people?
Oh, you're my favorite person too.
We both have notes. Did you see? Did you catch that?
My mom didn't see this. Let's talk about that. We'll talk about that.
We'll get into that. You start. So, okay, so let me ask you this question.
Yeah.
So, how are you feeling in your personal life when it comes to the goals that you've set up for yourself, the expectations that you have for yourself, especially as an artist, and just, I don't know, just in general?
Yeah, that's a great question. You're asking.
No, thank you for giving me that.
And I think as far as like goals that I've set, I feel like I'm only at the beginning of everything. Mm-hmm. But I feel like the things that I've achieved so far are like big to me. And I feel like I always like am like, oh my gosh, little Aaron would be so proud.
Yeah.
So when I think of that, I'm like rich.
You're rich.
Like I'm rich in love, I'm rich in faith, I'm rich in
That's
health,
beautiful.
you know, like
Yeah.
and all the things that I've achieved, like the things that I've set out, I've done.
Yes.
Like as far as like me going to try, like living across the country and going to school,
Mm-hmm.
like I really like manifested that in a way.
You did.
And I'm doing that. Mm-hmm. The high school I went to, I spoke that into existence. Work that I've done, I mean, some things, everything doesn't work out, but like
don't I know it?
Everything doesn't work out, but like for things to have happened, it still is like a okay, you hear me, God, and like I'm in the right direction. Like even the things that don't work out, I feel like those are things that like that still show me that I'm like in the right direction.
Absolutely.
So that's how I feel. I feel really inspired by myself.
I love
like,
that.
I feel like when I think of it, like every day is not like rainbow and sunshine.
Yeah.
But I do feel like when I get myself through a lot of it because I'm like, if I can do that, I can literally do anything.
Yeah.
You know? And all I have to do is keep praying and living by faith and believing in myself, you know? And ultimately that's what got me here. Believing in myself, because everybody's not going to believe in you, but sometimes you have to tell somebody, like, no, I know that I am doing this and that I know that I can do this.
I guess my next question would be for you, because I know you brought up like not everyone believes in you. Mm-hmm. Not everyone believes in anyone, right? So how do you handle that? And my second follow-up question is, what do you think gets you out of a place of like self-doubt if you ever do deal with that?
Mm-hmm. Well, I'd say that I don't have to burp. Okay, it's gone. I think that I have a great support system. I have great people around me who inspire me and who do believe in me. That when you do have people who speak negative things, it kind of outshines that. And I always think about like Beyonce. Thank you, Beyonce.
Thank you, Beyonce.
Thank you, Beyonce, for all of this.
Thank you.
But like when I think of like all these artists that like inspire me, truly, there's a story behind it. Like it wasn't easy, and it wasn't, and it was people that didn't believe in them, and they believed in themselves. Mm-hmm. And I think that has always like got me through. I'm like I know I can do this. And then I also have people around me who really like speak positive things into me. Like there are times where I've literally come to you and you literally have said like, Aaron, like, you are amazing, and you've just like reassured me and let
because I believe that.
Yeah, and that stuff does amazing things. Like to have people around you who believe in you.
Absolutely.
That I feel like that is more than enough. It's more than enough for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. That was beautiful.
Thank you. I also don't have my glasses, guys, so I'm squinting because I really can't see.
He needs to carry his glasses with him. Okay.
But yeah, what about you?
What about me?
What's like as far as like your goals?
It's very different because we're in two different spots. I mean, Aaron's still in school, and I've just graduated about like 3 or 4 weeks ago now. I can't keep track. For me, I have also done the same. Like, I've spoke everything that I've done up until this point into existence, put it into God's hands, and put my faith and trust in myself. Just being able to stay in this city and do my dream of being an actor, an artist, a performer, how often does someone get to say that? And I feel like I've always known, right? Like, I've always had a plan. Okay, I'm going to graduate high school. I'm going to continue this career. I'm going to go to school. And, like, who knew if all of that was going to work out? But it did.
Right.
And I'm so lucky that it did. But for some reason, going into this next chapter of my adulthood and leaving school, I think was a big shock to me because I was like, I've always been a student. Like, I've always been learning since elementary, then middle school, then high school, and straight to college. 2 weeks after high school graduation was insane for me. I was always a student. I was never just out, right? Like, I felt like I had something to fall back on. And I feel like now I don't. Like, now everything is up in the air. It's all about making my own path, making my name, making this career a career, you know, a real lifelong career, because I can't see myself doing anything else, and I would not want to see myself doing anything else besides performing in all ways. But that's been a real struggle for me. And then after graduation, I went home, and I was lucky enough, you know, to go home and fortunate enough to see my family that I'm so beyond thankful for, and I love them with all of my heart. But what I realized when I went home was that the Alyssa that left Texas at the age that she did to come out here and pursue her life is not the same person. When I went back, I was surrounded by everything else this time, and I really sat there and I realized, okay, like, even though I'm scared shitless and I don't know what's coming next and I don't really, like, have a plan. Like, do you ever really have a plan? I don't know. But what I do know, I don't really fit in here. And I don't know if I ever did, like, truly. I don't know if I ever truly fit in there. And then I came back here and my soul was just reconnected. My spirit was like brighter, it was like happier, and I was like, oh my God, yes, because this town energizes my art. I mean, just today we were walking down Hollywood Boulevard and there were these beautiful talented 3 guys and they were in a band. They were a rock band playing music out of a U-Haul truck.
Yeah, I was gagged.
Like, how fucking cool is that? Like, you know, and I just feel like going back home, if people from back home saw that, I don't know that they'd have the same experience that I did. Like, my whole soul was filled watching these 3 performers, because I was like, they're doing what what they love, and they're doing it with, like, the coolest fucking vibe ever, and I love it. And so that's kind of where I'm at right now, is like, I'm learning to be more present. I'm learning to be stronger within my art and trying to not have so much self-doubt. And, like, I've always trusted my instinct. And I guess when I went home, I felt like I lost some of my trust, like, within myself, because my trust was a little wavered. But I think my trust, it wavered a little bit. And I had to remind myself who I am. And how strong I am, and how resilient I am, and that life is not, just as my mom says, life is not black and white. Love is not black and white. And this career and this artistry and me as a person is not, it's not just all black and white. It's so colorful. This life is so colorful, and you have to be willing to just dive into that and to lean into it.
Absolutely.
And so that's where I'm at.
Yeah. You touched on, like, do we ever have a real plan?
Mm-hmm.
That's good. I want to, like, get into that.
You want to expand on that?
Yes, because
okay.
You always hear people talk about you gotta have a plan, and some people don't know how to lay out a plan. They just tell you you need to have a plan.
Do you have a plan A? Do you have a plan B?
Yeah,
C, D?
and
all the way through the alphabet.
Yeah. So how do you navigate like having a plan? Like, do you feel like you have a plan?
No, I don't.
Yeah.
I think that I have an outline.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's a plan. I think a plan is something that is drawn out to the T. You know exactly what you're going to do. You know exactly how your life is going to work. But in all reality, you don't know. Literally. No one really knows. Like, you don't know when the end is. You don't know what new chapter you're going into. You have an idea that this job is going to open some doors for me, right? But you don't know what those doors are. You don't know if they're good or bad. You don't know if it's going to be something that is going to really be meant for you in that moment. Like, you just never know. So no, I don't have a plan. I have an outline and I have goals that I would like to reach, but I've come to realize, like, even if I don't hit those goals and it wasn't in my plan, like, if it's not meant for me, it's not meant for me. You know, I don't think that anyone really has a plan. I think they have an idea of what they want their life to look like, and they hope that it's going to be beautiful and colorful and wonderful, right? But, like, you know, I don't know everyone's religion, and I don't know everyone's thought process, but to me, I'm like, only God knows. Yeah. Only the universe knows, and that's it. And you just have to go along for the ride and make the best of it.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't believe I have a plan either. I believe, like, if it's for me, it's for me. I try to go by that and knowing that, like, I don't know, I feel like God steers me in the right direction every time. I believe that. And He puts a hold on things for a reason. I believe it's all preparation.
What do you think it's preparation for?
It's all about, like, the outline. When God puts you in places, because I believe in a God. Mm-hmm. When He puts me in, like, certain areas in my life, it's for a reason. And I think that because I don't have something right now, it's because it's just not time right now. It's not time right now. I feel like in those no's there are lessons. You learn things that like you can grow from, and all that is like something you had, like, to add a tool to your back pocket and something that adds to the story. I truly believe that if you keep going, you're gonna hit your destination. I believe that you're gonna hit your destination. If you give up, that you lose. Like the Bible says, the race isn't given to the swift nor the strong, but to the ones who can endure to the end. So preach. Okay, yes, the Bible. So good. Yes. The Bible. As long as you keep going and keep pushing and keep learning, because that's another thing too. As artists, we're never done learning. You're gonna bump into that opportunity in that right moment for you. Yeah. And the people you connect with, and I just always believe in, like, God's right timing too. And it'll be something that I didn't even that you weren't imagine. Expecting. I wasn't expecting, because you didn't plan it out. Yeah. And because you just let life take its course and let God handle it, and and just go along for the ride. What would you say, like, throughout, being at school and stuff, like, what is something that you've learned? Like, what is your biggest takeaway so far? Be single. You don't have time to be worried about other people. You need to lock in, honey. You have to lock in. I'm sure people can relate to this. Whenever you have an issue and it's not school related, what is it about? What is it about? Clock him. No, I agree. It takes up so much stress. Like, it's so draining. Teachers pull you to the side. What's going on with you? You seem a bit off. I don't like that. The fact that you feel like something's wrong with me. Yeah. Because of somebody else. Yeah. That's not good. So you need to be able. You need to figure out what you got going on first. That'll be there. We're still young. So that person, that right person for you will either wait or you will find them on your journey up.
Yes.
Okay? And it'll be the right person.
Yeah, I think that's a great takeaway. I think that it's so funny because I'm a hopeless romantic. I mean, of course, I love movies and stories and the whole like 9 yards when it comes to love. I love. And I think it's a beautiful thing and it's so special to have. But again, love is not black and white, and it's not easy, and it is draining. And speaking from experience, I hate it when someone ruins my day. Like when someone, like, no! Like, to me, I am one of the strongest people I know, like, heart and headstrong. I'm like, no, this is how it's gonna be. Like, this is, like, that's just one of my traits. And sometimes it's bad, and sometimes it's really great, and sometimes it's really worked out in my favor, and sometimes I'm like, you should have let go a little bit there, and you should have let life take its course, right? I did. I let life take its course. I let life take its course. I don't really have regrets necessarily in that department. Like, I loved who I loved, and that was fine, right? Until it's not fine. I think, but we don't. Sorry, you're making me laugh.
I'm not doing anything. I'm like trying not to laugh, Melissa.
Love, I guess, or being single, or like whatever you want to call it. I think the real question that people need to ask themselves is it love or lust? I think that gets misconstrued a lot. I think that that's a feeling that people can't really decipher. Like, is it lust? Is it love? Like, and then people get hurt in the process, right? Because it's different, you know, for everybody. But I don't think that we should close ourselves off to love and commitment all of the time. So I agree, but I also disagree. Because I think that love is one of the biggest counterparts when it comes to being an artist. It's everywhere in our art. The way that you convey passion and love and hurt and all that, like, all of those emotions are intertwined, and I really think it goes back to love. So yes, stay single in school, do your thing, but if you're not gonna stay single, know what you really want, or don't go for it. Don't go for it if you don't really know that you want it, and if you really don't think that you did it for the right reasons. Yeah, that's my thing. Those are my thoughts.
That's good.
Peace and love. Yeah, anything else?
No, you read me to filth, Jill, girl.
Well, you read me to filth.
Hey,
thank you.
Episode 1 done.
Yes, thank you for joining us. I hope that you get something useful out of this. Maybe you don't, and maybe you just enjoy watching people talk, because sometimes I do.
I do too.
But if you did get something out of this, then that's important too, and I really appreciate you watching. And I'm sure we'll have something for you next time. Yes!
See you guys next time.
Love, light, and happiness!
Yes!